I'm such a huge fan of yours. And with this film being something that's about, change and things like that too, I want to ask you, as somebody who's been in the business now 40 years, how do you see Hollywood changing, from the Miami Vice days and Mike Hammer to going through everything and now producing things like Dee Dee and everything, but how do you see it change?
I really have witnessed the entire change. I mean, back in the days when I first started, I hardly saw any Asian faces at all. Maybe one butler here, one maid there, and that's it. So in the recent 10 years, I would say, mostly 5 years maybe even, Hollywood has featured a lot of great like Asian films or Asian American themes that actually became box office successes. And so I think that also proved to the industry that diversity actually works. I am really fortunate. I'm fortunate that I'm still standing right here in front of you and catching the tail end of my career at a much better time. Um, I'm excited to be a part of this film. A great ensemble, great performers, every one of them. And I think Andrew and James did a great script. I mean, it's not a remake, it is a reimagining of an already fantastic film ahead of its time. I think audience will embrace it.
Can you tell us about your character in this?
Mei Chen, my character, is a attention-seeking, completely clueless, not very introspective, not thoughtful. She lives sort of an exterior life. She is on her social media. Everything is for show. And so she had no idea she was a terrible mother. And so throughout the film, I think she began to realize, yeah.
I do want to ask too. We recently lost David Lynch too. So, what do you have like a little funny memory? Maybe not something like with him being strong or anything. Just a simple that you just kind of makes you smile still.
I just think his spontaneity is really very unique amongst the directors that I've worked with. If somebody wore the wrong socks, like they don't match, and he'll say, "Oh God, that matches the character." He'll use it. There was, well, I told that story already. I think it was Laura's funeral. I sat down, and then Richard Beamer's character came over to sit down. But before he got to his position, he whispered in my ear, which was not in the script, and I was so confused. And afterwards, he came to me and just profusely apologized. I said, what was it? What did you do? He said, David told me to say it. Honestly, that's not something I would say. I said, what did you say? He said, cunt. I was like, oh, I didn't know the word. And he told me. And things like that. And also this kind of casting choice. The role was written for Isabel Rossellini. And when I read the script, it was the Italian name. But when we met, he changed his mind. And I was very lucky. So yeah, he'll be missed.
And then I just gotta catch on one thing you said. You said you're on the tail end of your career. Is there a reason you would stop? Would you want to stop? Do you have plans to stop in any way? I mean, I don't know. I would love you to keep going and make it as much as you want. So.
Well, I say the tail end is just because of my age. I don't mean to stop at all.
You're not going to be on an action guy's arm anymore, but there's other roles. I mean,
I can still do action. Believe me, I can.
Okay.
I'm the type that, I was. Well, I'm not going to name films. I was being cast in my younger days to do in action, but at that time, my aspiration is to become Meryl Streep. I revered drama, and I turned it down, and boy, I regret because I have the physique to do action. So I will do one.
I want to see it 100%. Well, thank you very much. Have an amazing Sundance.